morning, Primary 5. How you guys doing today? I hope you guys slept well. Today is a Wednesday, the 21st of April 2021. And our first subject for today is science. And the topic is investigating evaporation. Investigating evaporation. But before we look at investigating evaporation, it is important for us to take a little flashback on what we did last time in science. Last time we were looking at the revolution of the earth, how the earth revolves around the sun in 1 year or 365 and 1/4 days, how the earth revolves around the sun in a year or 365 and 1/4 days. Today we are investigating evaporation. We are investigating evaporation. But before we start investigating evaporation, it is important for us to find out what evaporation is. What evaporation is. Evaporation is the process by which liquid changes into gas. It is a process by which liquid changes into gas. The process by which liquid changes into gas. For example, water changes to water vapor. Water, which is a liquid, changes to water vapor, which is a gas. Liquid changes to water vapor, which is a gas. What actually happens during evaporation? What happens during evaporation? What happens during evaporation? We have, let us consider this to be water. Let us consider this to be water. And this water is found maybe in a beaker. When we heat this water, these are flames. When we heat this water, what will happen? This water, which is a liquid, has what is called molecules. Molecules of water. When we heat this water, the molecules of water will gain what is called heat energy. Heat energy. When they gain heat energy, the molecules gain heat energy, they become lighter. Molecules gain heat energy and become lighter. When they become lighter, what happens? They now escape into the surrounding air. They escape into the surrounding air, and this is what we call what? This is what we call evaporation. This is what we call evaporation. So our focus is on factors affecting evaporation. The factors affecting evaporation. 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 Evaporation. So the first factor we are going to look at is surface area. Surface area. Surface area. Let us consider these two surface areas. The one that is like this and the one that is like this. And let us consider that these two surface areas, they have water. They have water on it. This one is a wider surface area. So surface area, the wider the surface area, the faster the evaporation. The wider the surface area, the faster the evaporation. That is it about surface area. We can take the example. When we wash our dresses, and we take them to the hanging line, our wet dresses, we hang them on the hanging line to get dry. Those dresses that are folded will have a small surface area, but those that are sprayed will have a larger surface area. So the folded wet dresses will take longer to get dry. Those that are sprayed out will easily get dry because they have a wider surface area for evaporation to take place. The sun rays will hit a wider surface area for evaporation to take place than on a smaller surface area. These two can explain why when we take our seeds, we have seeds. It could be cocoa seeds, it could be bean seed, it could be granule seed. We spray it on a mat. When we spray it on a mat, these seeds will easily get dry because they have a wider surface area for evaporation to take place. But if we gather all the seeds on a smaller surface area, we gather them here on a smaller surface area, evaporation is going to take longer because all the seeds do not have, the surface area is not wide enough for evaporation to be faster. We go to the next one. The next factor affecting evaporation is temperature. Temperature is another factor affecting evaporation. So on hotter, when we have hot temperatures, when we have hot temperature, we have fast evaporation than cold temperature. So evaporation is faster on hot days than on cold days. So hot temperatures will increase the rate of evaporation, while cold temperatures will slow down the rate of evaporation. It goes further to explain the reason why puddles and rivers in the summer will get dry. Because sun heat will hit the water from the puddles and the rivers and cause the water to evaporate. I explain again. In summer, puddles and rivers get dry. Why? Because the sun rays, summers are hotter than winters. So the sun hits the water from the rivers and the puddles, and this water evaporates and gets dry. That is to say, evaporation is faster in summer than in winter. Let us look at the last factor affecting evaporation, and this is wind. What is wind? Wind is moving air. So on windy days are days we have much moving air. On windy days, evaporation is faster. And this explains why on windy days, even when we do not have sunshine, when we spread our dresses on the hanging line, the wind, the moving air, will help to evaporate the water from our wet dresses, and our wet dresses will get dry even without sunshine on windy days. So wind is another factor that affects evaporation. That said and done, our next subheading is uses of evaporation to us. Uses of evaporation to us. What are the uses of evaporation to us? What are the uses of evaporation to us? 1. Evaporation helps to dry our wet dresses. Evaporation helps to dry our wet dresses. You see that from the fact that when we spread our wet dresses on the hanging line, on a sunny or windy day, the wind or the sun will help to evaporate the water from our wet dress, and our wet dresses will become dry. Evaporation too helps to dry our hair. Evaporation helps to dry our hair. How does evaporation dry our hair? When you go to a hairdressing salon and you wash your hair, after washing your hair, the air pressure machine is used to blow off the water from your hair through evaporation so that your hair will become dry. The air pressure machine is used to blow off the water from your hair so that the water will evaporate and your hair will become dry. Okay, another one. Evaporation helps to cool our body during sports. Evaporation helps to cool our body during sport. How does this happen? During sport, we notice that we do what? We sweat. And when we sweat, we find water on our body. We find water on our body. And evaporation will help to evaporate this water that is on our body. When the water on our body evaporates, it cools down our body temperature. It cools our body temperature. So during sports and physical exercises, we get to sweat, and this sweat will evaporate, and when it evaporates, our body will become cold, regulating our body temperature during sports. Evaporation regulates our body temperature during sports. Okay, another one. We use evaporation to dry our seeds. Seeds like cocoa seeds, beans seeds, etc. Cocoa seed, bean seed, etc. We spread these seeds on a mat outside in the sun, and the sun heat will help to evaporate the water from the cocoa seed, the bean seed, and many other type of seed. What happens when this water evaporates? The seeds are preserved. The seeds are preserved, so they can stay for a longer time without getting bad. They can stay for a longer time without getting bad. So evaporation helps us to dry our seeds. Another point is that evaporation helps in the water cycle. Evaporation helps in the water cycle. We know the water cycle is the process by which water from all the sources of water, rivers, streams, oceans, lakes, and even from the leaves of plants will evaporate into the sky when heated by sunlight, by the heat from the sun. It will evaporate into the sky as water vapor. When it evaporates into the sky as water vapor, when the water vapor comes together and becomes heavy, it will condense and fall back on earth as rain. And we know how rainfall is so much important to us. So evaporation encourages rainfall, and without rainfall, life can be very difficult for us. We'll not be able to grow our crops, we'll not be able to have enough water supply. So evaporation helps in the water cycle. So it helps to encourage rainfall, and rainfall is very, very important for our survival. So this is what we have seen about evaporation today, investigating evaporation. I gave you a project work to do at home on this same topic, investigating evaporation. Bring your own findings to me, and combining with what I have been able to share with you today, we will both see if you were able to notice some other things about evaporation that have not been mentioned here. Thank you so very much. I love you guys. Take care. Make sure you copy your notes. Make sure you do your exercises. Keep working from home, because you know why we are here now. You know why we can't have our face-to-face lessons. Thank you very much. Take care.